This week, the HPT crowns a champion from the Route 66 Casino Hotel in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We continue this final table with 5 players battling to be the next HPT champ and etch their name into the HPT history books. The great state of New Mexico has shown us that the game of poker is thriving. Over $200,000 was up for grabs when we started this event, and now the biggest chunk of that prize pool is waiting for one of these talented players. 5 remain, and only one will be the last man standing. This is the HPT.
They come from all walks of life, each with a story to tell. All they need is a chip and a chair. It's an open casting call for those who love the game. This ain't your weekend home game. This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face, you with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game, talk trash all you want. To me it's all the same, you won't leave with much when you come in second place. I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack on cry to your mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello and welcome to the HPT this week at Route 66 Casino Hotel in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm Chris Hansen. By my side, as always, is Fred Bevel. As normal, we started with 6 players at this final table. We lost one last time, so we're now down to 5, and Fred, it's still anybody's ballgame.
It really is. Last time we had to say goodbye to Robert Weeks from Gallup, New Mexico. So the 5 players remaining all have the skills and the chips to take this thing down. But Chris, I don't think anybody wants it more than Stan Jablonsky.
Stan made a final table earlier this year on the HPT. He went out in 6th place to the eventual champ Greg Raymer when he delivered a bad beat that shrunk his stack down to almost nothing. Well, this time around, Stan is playing well and running well. He's going to be tough to beat.
Well, Chris, I'm pretty sure the other players at this final table want the championship pretty bad as well. James Williams is hoping to score big tonight for his young child and his family's future, while Anthony Herrera's goal is to make this final table the beginning of a prosperous career in poker.
John Bashard bubbled the final table on our last visit here to Route 66. He's been playing like a man on a mission this week. Plus, software engineer Tyler Thompson has also been playing extremely well, and he will be my pick to be the last man standing.
Well, look at you making a pick.
Hey, anybody can do better than you. It doesn't take a whole lot.
Right.
Let's meet the players and get right to the final table action.
My name is Tyler Thompson, and I'm an IT software architect. I would consider myself very aggressive at certain points of the game, but cautious. Even though I have the chip lead, and it's not huge, it's just a little bit more than the next 2 below me, I'm not going to treat it as any big chip lead. I'm going to treat it like the last couple of days.
My name is John Bashard. I live in Woodland Park, Colorado. In July here at the Heartland, I was the TV bubble. I finished in 7th place. Try to play with what got me here. Patient, not do anything stupid.
Hi, my name is Anthony Herrera. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm a truck driver. I have aspirations to continue playing poker. I love the game, and right now I'm running bad, but someday my luck will change, and I'll be okay. The first place money would come in real handy. It would give me a poker bankroll. I can start playing the games I want to play.
And here's what everyone's chasing tonight at this final table. First place leaves tonight with $56,000 in cash.
Everybody at tonight's final table guaranteed to go home with a little over $13,000 in cash for their deep run this week. Here is the updated chip count.
Tyler Thompson is our chip leader, and John will start tonight as our short stack.
John, with only 10 big blinds left in his stack, is going to have to make some moves quickly. John started this final table last time as one of the leaders. Took a couple of bad hits. Action will start on him here. Blinds are 20 and 40,000 with a 4,000 chip ante.
And John looks down at ace deuce of spades. And he will fold. Anthony folds over to Stan with 6-9 offsuit. Stan making his second HPT final table appearance.
And this is James Williams with King 10 offsuit. James started as one of the short stacks. Since then has caught some cards, made some good plays. And now he's among the leaders. He's going to raise it to 120,000 here to open up this hand.
And this is our first look at the chip leader, Tyler Thompson from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Tyler deliberating what to do. He doesn't want to fold. We know that much. He's going to go ahead and flat call James's raise.
So it's blind versus blind here with James and Tyler. And let's see our first flop of the night. It is 5 deuce king.
Well, James has hit top pair, and he's going to check it over to Tyler, who does not do the bidding for him. He's going to check behind.
Tyler's got that gut shot straight draw and now picks up a flush draw as well.
And this is the street James will try to get some value. He's going to fire 110,000, and that's probably not enough to get the flush draw off this hand.
70,000 chip bet by James.
70? Yeah, it's more than that.
No, it's not. They're $10,000 chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than that.
It's 110.
Yeah.
110.
After further review,
The hell was that thing?
110.
Gotta learn arithmetic to play this game.
All right. I got that out there, right? So
That was 1-1-0.
what is it? 10?
And Tyler is going to flat call.
I would not have been surprised even to see Tyler raise here on the turn. River is a 3, so James has the best hand with a pair of kings.
And he's going to check it over. This is Tyler's opportunity to try to push him off.
$150,000 was the bet from Tyler and a very quick call from James.
Stands flipped over by James.
And James is going to win this pot that has over 750,000 chips in it.
17 ounce in that turn.
We ended last week with James having the momentum. This week it continues for him. This is Tyler with 8-9 of clubs. He's just going to limp in.
Over to our short stack, John Bashard from Woodland Park, Colorado. He will fold. Now to Anthony.
Raise 100.
And Anthony's going to raise it up with a wired sevens.
Anthony Herrera is a truck driver from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Stan folds over to James. Deuce 3 offsuit. Goes to the muck. Now back to Tyler.
And Tyler is going to make the call. So we have suited connectors going up against a wired pair.
And here we go. Flop is King, Queen, 9. Tyler pairs is 9.
And Anthony's going to quickly fire out 100,000.
100.
And Tyler not too afraid of those 2 overcards. He's going to flat call.
Check dark.
Checking the dark for your one.
And now Tyler checks in the dark as we get ready for the turn. It's a queen of clubs and another flush draw picked up for Tyler.
And Anthony does slow down on the turn. That might have been what Tyler was looking for.
And here is the river. It is a king, and that double pairs the board.
Both players have counterfeited pairs now. Tyler's going to check. And let's see if Anthony takes this as an opportunity. He does. Fires 200,000.
And Tyler's going to lay it down.
And Anthony shows his pocket sevens, and Tyler's thinking, oh, we would have chopped. Bummer.
More poker when we come back on the HPT.
Game's on now, boys.
Thanks for coming back to the HPT with Fred Bevel. I'm Chris Hansen. Let's get to know the rest of this final table.
I'm Stan Jablonsky from Bullhead City, Arizona, and I'm a business owner. I did final table in St. Louis, and I did last 5 hands, and I've learned not to play the 5th hand with Greg Raymer, and I sent him a thank you already for not being here this week. I did make it to another final table. I'm having a good time, and did have a little luck and some good hands and a couple bluffs here and there, but I won't talk about those. And I'm just having a good time.
My name is Bob Weeks. I'm from Gallup, New Mexico. My favorite poker memory would have to be when my brother called me from Mexico to inform me that I would be starting day 4 at the World Series of Poker 2011 in place 58.
My name is James Williams. I'm 26. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I work for Local 412. I was a plumber for 6 years, and I run my own business. I've been short stacked the whole tournament, so it's nothing new. I haven't got above 250 until the final table. I had 89,000 at one point, and worked my way back up to 368. So my play's been, solid from here on, and same as Stan and the chip leaders. I feel like they're a little loose, so that's good, double up to somebody.
Now that we've gotten to know the players a little bit better, let's check out the updated chip counts.
Tyler still holds the lead. Anthony itching closer. John still the short stack, hoping to hook into a big hand and double up.
Let's get back to the final table where tonight $56,000 in cash is on the line. Blinds are still 20 and 40,000 with a 4K ante. James is first. He folds over to Tyler, who limps in with 9-4 of hearts.
They're suited. Why not?
Anthony calls out of the small blind over to Stan Jablonsky. Stan made a final table at River City Casino in St. Louis earlier on the HPT.
He's going to check his option. We're going to have 3 players going to the flop.
And look at these premium offerings that they are playing. The flop is King, Jack, Queen. Anthony's first.
Anthony flops the best of this. He hits top pair. Stan also hits top pair, but has a weaker kicker. Tyler looking good, but only has 9 high.
Here comes the turn. It's another Queen. Anthony checks. Stan checks. Over to Tyler. Everyone checking. Fred, do you check as well?
I might as well.
And here comes the river. It's an ace, and everyone's going to check all the way around.
Boy, we're playing poker now. Look at this. Here we go. The worst hand at the table is actually betting. And Anthony's going to call. And look at this. Stan is going to lay down his king. He would have been chopping with Anthony. Tyler makes a stab at this pot, a really weak one, gets called quickly, and Anthony is going to scoop a little over $250,000 in chips. Anthony Herrera, another one of those players that started this final table on the bottom of the chip ladder, has moved his way up to the top of the chip ladder.
Tyler's going to limp in. Over to our short stack, John Bashard from Woodland Park, Colorado. He will fold. Now to Anthony.
And he is going to raise it up to 80,000 with ace-6 offsuit.
Over to Stan.
I'm all in.
It is an all-in re-raise. Raise, rather. By Stan.
James Williams is going to fold.
Back to Tyler.
The 6 seat of James. Now we're the 1 seat.
And Tyler folds.
Anthony fold, and Stan's going to scoop the pot.
The other aces canceled out. Had a pretty good ace.
12 minutes.
You have an ace, Jeff?
Free to go here.
Yeah, that's why I was going to call you about
12 minutes to pick shoes. You are seeing.
How's your kicker?
10-7, huh? You don't call there and see if a 9 peels off?
You were anything but a Yankees fan.
This is James Williams.
You don't have the most honest.
Father, husband,
I heard that before,
Yankees
huh?
fan.
One of those 3 things Fred does not approve of.
Fatherhood.
Tyler is going to limp in with ace-4 of clubs. Tyler never saw a hand he didn't want to play.
John's going to follow suit with Queen Jack, and Anthony's going to check his option with King Jack. Suddenly these players are getting a little gun-shy with a pre-flop raising.
Well, there is quite a bit of difference between 5th and 4th place of about $5,000. Here's the flop. It's deuce 3-9 with 2 hearts.
No help to any of these players, but Anthony's going to fire. He makes it 60,000. Tyler's going to go ahead and call with a gut shot straight draw. John's going to get out of the way.
Let's go ahead and see the turn.
And now let's see the turn. It's a 10. Anthony first.
Anthony
He checks.
Well, now both players have a gut shot straight draw. Both players check.
And the river is a 6 of diamonds. Anthony's first, and he is betting with king high. He bets 80,000.
Well, Tyler only with ace high. Probably isn't going to make the call, and look at that. Anthony wins another hand with absolutely nothing.
Now, I don't mind if you're the big stack like Tyler is, getting involved with plenty of hands, and there he's getting involved on the button. Not a bad play, but he could raise on the button, and probably that hand never happens. It's done pre-flop, but instead he loses the hand and loses even more chips.
Well said. In this hand, Tyler decides to lay it down. Action is now on John. He's going to fold. Anthony looks like he's going to lay it down over to Stan Jablonsky.
Stan with 9 deuce in the small blind.
And that's never stopped Stan before.
100.
Stan's going to raise it out of the small blind. I like this play.
Stan is a 56-year-old business owner from Bullhead City, Arizona.
So we have a raised pot, blind versus blind. Neither of these guys with any hand to celebrate.
Be very careful here, James. I'm going to be very careful. Unless I hit it really big.
And here comes the flop. Jack, 5, king, all diamonds. Stan's going to be first.
Well, Stan has picked up a flush draw, but it's the deuce of diamonds in his hand. That can't be too exciting for him. He's going to check it over. And look at James coming out. Sees the window of opportunity, fires a bet, and Stan is going to fold. And James not afraid to show it.
More poker on our race to 56,000 K when we come back. Welcome back to New Mexico from Albuquerque. We are at Route 66 Casino Hotel with Fred Bevel. I'm Chris Hansen. Let's take a look at the current chip stack. And I said it earlier, Tyler got involved with a lot of hands that he probably shouldn't have. And Fred, it has cost him his chip lead.
Yep, now that belongs to Anthony. And second in chips is James Williams in the 6th seat. The short stack, still John, now with only 6 big blinds in his stack. And the blinds are going up. They're now 25 and 50,000 with a 5K ante.
Stan is first, and Mr. Jablonsky looks down at 5-3 offsuit.
Stan, one of the good guys you'll see on the HPTs, become a friend of ours over the last few tournaments.
Every time I hear the last name Jablonsky, I always think it's someone who should be a chemistry teacher in a high school.
See, I think place kicker in the NFL. Is it just me? Maybe I'm getting mixed up with Janikowski.
He's going to fold. Action is now on James. Queen, Jack of diamonds. James is a 26-year-old plumber from right here in Albuquerque.
He's going to make it 120,000 to go. Was nursing a small stack when we started here. He's been on a slow grind and now among the leaders.
And now to the short stack, John, who appears to be assembling his chips, and they are now all in the middle with Queen 10 of clubs.
He's got suited cards, gap connecting cards. They're high.
Why not put them in? King 7 for Anthony in the big blind, but he's got to worry about maybe what James might do. James was the initial raiser.
Well, if I'm Anthony, I think this is a fairly easy fold. You don't want to get tangled up with the other guy that can knock you out at the final table, especially when you're 5-handed. And he is going to lay it down.
Now back to James. It's 168,000 to call the all-in.
I call.
He is going to make the call. He didn't really want to make the call, but he's going to find he's way ahead.
Yeah, I think he really likes what he sees.
John is drawing to 3 outs with the 10. Hopefully he can hit some clubs on the board or some kind of a straight out.
You're just saying that because it's cowboy hat versus Yankee hat.
Yeah, I'm going for the cowboy hat.
I see what you're doing here.
I like John a lot. He's a good guy.
Here we go. The flop is 6 ace 3.
Well, not the flop John was hoping for. He did pick up a club. Still has 3 outs with the 10.
May I please see the turn card?
And now here comes the turn. The turn is a jack of hearts.
Not the turn card John was hoping for. James has paired his jack. Now he's hoping to find one of the 4 kings left in the deck to hit Broadway.
Otherwise, John Bashard's day will be over at the final table. Here comes the river.
Let's go ahead and see the river.
It is a 3 of diamonds, and that will do it for John Bashard, leaving us tonight in 5th place.
Last time we were here, John bubbled the final table. Let's hear what he had to say about making this final table.
How do you think I feel? I'm disappointed. I was hoping to win, and lost a big hand early at this final table, and got me short stacked and couldn't overcome that. If I had to pick a winner at this point, I think I would probably lean toward Anthony right on my left. Yeah, he's playing well. He's being aggressive at good times, and he seems to have his game very together.
So John leaves us in 5th place tonight on the HPT, going home with $12,000 in cash, and his wife right alongside him here at the final table.
Moving on with the 4 players left, Tyler's going to lay his hand down. Anthony going to raise it up with 9-6 offsuit.
Stan is now next to act in the small blind.
Stan's got a weak king, but in a 4-handed game, if he can pair it, it would be pretty good. He's going to lay it down, though. You know he doesn't like folding to Anthony, right? He hates folding to Anthony.
Back to James with pocket 8s.
Don't just flat call. Don't just, he flat call.
James makes the call.
4-handed game, I'd like to have seen a raise with a wired pair. But instead, James just elects to flat.
And here comes the flop. It's ace 6-6. And Anthony flops trip 6s.
And Anthony just announces same bet, puts $150,000 out there. And James not buying it. He's going to call.
James probably saying to himself, there's no way he's got that ace. Now, you're right. He doesn't have the ace. Here comes the turn. It's a jack of hearts.
Oh, and James getting frisky on the wrong hand here. He is going to bet $120,000.
120 is the bet by James. 120.
And Anthony just letting him do the bidding. He's just going to flat.
All right, so this pot's getting big. Almost 1 million chips in this one already as we see the river. It is a 10.
Anthony has the best hand, and James is shut down. He's going to check, and Anthony's happy to just roll over his hand as well.
The chip leader will take 885,000 chips in this pot and widen his chip lead over James. And right now, Anthony Herrera is getting all the good cards. He's got $500 invested into this tournament. Fred, right now, no one's going home with less than $17,000 in cash.
That's a great day. Tyler lays it down. So does Anthony. He folds the button. Now we're on Stan Jablonsky.
6-9 offsuit.
And that's good enough for Stan to get all of his chips in the middle.
And now to James. James with pocket 9s will make the call. And Stan Jablonsky is in real bad shape here, coming out of the small blind, moving all in. James wakes up with a made hand.
Stan hoping to just take the blinds and the antes, gets all of his chips in the middle. It backfired, and now he's way behind.
Flop is 7-7-3. Pocket 9 still ahead.
And now Stan is drawing razor thin. He's going to need to hit running 6s or go perfect for a straight.
All right, so let's see the turn as Stan's tournament life is on the line. And the turn is a 4 of clubs.
Well, that's one of the perfect cards Stan needed. Now he's hoping for a 5 to straighten out.
Wait a minute, straight
Heck, a 5 of clubs, give him a straight flush.
5 of clubs is a straight flush.
Yeah, as long as you're hoping for it, why not go all the way?
5 of clubs. 5 of clubs.
Any 5 will do.
5 of clubs. 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs.
One time has been called, Fred. You know it's not going to happen now. And the river is a 7, and that's going to do it for Stan Jablonsky.
James is going to win this hand with a boat, and Stan, another final table on his poker resume. Let's hear what he has to say about his day.
It's a little disappointing every time you get knocked out, but I think I played well. I lost a big hand, ace-king against queens, and it was tough from there, so I had a great time. Let's see, with the new money, we'll probably play some more poker tournaments. We'll play the next one in Vegas.
More final table action when we come back next on the HPT. Thanks for coming back to the HPT from Route 66 Casino Hotel here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's now time for our Pro Tip of the Week featuring professional poker player Phil Hellmuth. Tonight, Phil gives you another tip to strengthen your game.
I'm not a huge blind defender, but I'll take a flop if I'm in the big blind, especially because these days the standards are a little bit different, right? So when you have an ante out there and someone's coming in for 2.2 big blinds, so say the blinds are 1 in 2,000, they open for 4,400. It costs me 2,400 more to look at a flop with 8-9 suited. I'm going to defend. I might even look at 8-9 offsuit occasionally in those spots. And even better than defending the blind is re-raising and sending a message. You want to mess with my blind? I'm going to re-raise you. You know, and you might send that message early in a tournament where you just re-raise, everybody that raised you make a big re-raise, saying you're not going to steal my blinds. I'm going to make a stand. Kind of like that movie where Gandalf goes, I'm making a stand. So defending the blinds, make a stand, let them know they can't just run you over.
Thank you very much for the tip, Phil. I also like to impose a strategy that's called protecting my bacon cheeseburger. The player immediately to my left loves to get those cheeseburgers.
I do love me a bacon. You put a little barbecue sauce on that, it is good. Tyler's still right in the thick of it as well. Chris, this is anybody's game. James is going to lay it down. And now over to Tyler in the small blind. Peels back ace-king suited. A dream holding for three-handed. He is going to go all in.
I got to call you eventually. I got an ace. I call.
Anthony is going to make the call.
And Anthony's not going to like what he sees. He is crushed in this hand. Tyler poised to get a much-needed double up.
Good luck, whatever happens then.
Anthony has the diamonds, and he has a 6.
Earlier, I had pointed out that Tyler's been playing a lot of hands, and Fred, it might have just gotten him to get Anthony to call here and put him in a great spot to double up.
Well, if Tyler can hold on, he's going to scoop almost $2 million in chips. That'll change the dynamics of this final table dramatically.
All right, let's go ahead and see a flop.
Bring a king.
And the flop is 10-5-3 with 2 clubs.
Not the flop Anthony was hoping for. 2 clubs come on this board, cutting outs for him. Tyler in the driver's seat to double up through the chip leader.
Diamond, diamond.
And here we go. The turn is a 9. And now for Anthony, it's only a 6 that'll save him. The river is a jack of clubs. And so Tyler's going to make a flush and, more importantly, is going to double up.
And things just changed at this final table. Anthony Herrera is about to pass over almost $1 million of the chips in his stack. And now Tyler in the driver's seat. James is going to lay it down. And now over to Tyler in the small blind.
You don't have to push anymore.
Tyler never saw a hand he didn't want to play. Anthony checks his option with king, deuce. And the flop is 3-8-4 with 2 spades, and Anthony checks.
Check, check, check.
Here comes the turn. It is a 9.
Both players check.
Let's go ahead and see the river.
The river is a deuce. Anthony is going to check. So the chip leader picks up another hand.
I guess I missed a couple little bets there. Do you think I have pockets of some sort?
I thought you might have a bigger pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I have ace king, you might have to do it. It's a race though.
Still
right?
early. It's still a good chip. So.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah. So I don't know. Shot call.
And look at this. James peels back wired aces and just limps in from the small blind.
Was hoping that Tyler's aggression would get the better of him, but he did not. And so here comes the flop. It's deuce 4-10, and that's exactly what James was hoping for.
Yeah, Tyler has hit top pair on this flop in a 3-handed game. We could see fireworks here.
James bets 100K, and action is now back to Tyler.
And Tyler is going to raise it. A dream situation for James Williams, and he's going to go all in now.
A little fast. Don't know if he's going to get called.
Well, I think in James's plan, he got what he wanted. He got a big bet out of Tyler, and he just wants to shut the hand down right now. Ace is only one pair.
You're crushed either way. You just have to get lucky.
Yeah, I gotta get lucky, right?
And that's it.
All right, man. I'm glad I raised. I found out more.
Tyler lays it down, and James is going to win with his pocket aces and shows him to the world.
Jeez.
And I think Tyler realizes I just got let off real easy by James.
I got to agree with you. I think maybe James played that hand a little quick. Probably could have gotten some more chips out of Tyler.
For sure there was going to be another bet coming on the turn, especially if it was below the 10. All right, moving on to the next hand. Tyler first to act. Tyler's ready to play, and he's going to limp in from the small with King 10. Anthony checks his option with 7-8 offsuit. Tyler Thompson is an IT software architect. Flop is 10-9-3 rainbow.
Well, Tyler hits top pair. Anthony flops an open-ended straight draw. Another action flop here.
Tyler bets 100K, and Anthony quickly calls. A dead giveaway that he's on a draw. If anything, Fred, I take even longer to make the decision when I'm on a draw. And the turn is a 6, and now Anthony did make the straight.
That's the money card for Anthony, and even better for Anthony, Tyler still has top pair. Tyler checks over to Anthony, and he is going to bet the straight, fires 300,000, and a quick call from Tyler with his top pair.
I think this is kind of how that last hand with James would have probably played itself out. Tyler in the same bad position.
With good cards.
And now Tyler checks in the dark. And the river card is a 7. Anthony is going to check and be happy with the amount of chips that are in the pot. And Tyler's going to lose another hand here. And Anthony content there to check on the river, probably the wise play.
Yeah, too much out there that could beat him after that 7 came on the river. And now Anthony's scooping the chips back that he gave to Tyler a moment ago.
Oh, I'm always going to take money. Money's good. For me and my family, it'd be, normal thing. I mean, we wouldn't splurge. Just go about our single day, every single day. You know, I make good money now, so we're going to be all right.
The first place money would come in real handy. It would give me a poker bankroll. I could start playing the games I want to play.
I think, you know, obviously I'm playing to win. I mean, the money's really not that important. I would rather win than get the money, to be honest with you. And just everybody likes to compete, so this gives you a chance to compete. And when you win, it just sort of validates that you're playing well. And I'm sure one of these days I'll get there.
You know what, Fred? Just once I'd like to hear one of them say, get it in ones and roll around in a bet of it.
That's just what you would do, and I don't blame you a bit. Anthony is the chip leader. James only like 100,000 behind him. Tyler right there as well. You can see the percentages. All of these guys in the mix. 25 and 50,000 with a 5,000 chip ante is where we're at right now.
And James is going to be first to act on the button. He's going to limp in with his suited gap connectors. Tyler calls out of the small blind, and Anthony checks out of the big blind. So all three players will see this flop together. Third place tonight, $21,000 on the HPT. The flop is 9, Jack 9.
Great flop for Anthony. He's flopped trip 9s. Nothing for any of the other two, so it'll be tough to get some action on the flop. Let's see what the turn brings.
Everyone checks to the turn, which is a queen.
Well, now Tyler has hit top pair. Anthony, still with trips, has a monster. Tyler bets 100,000. And Anthony ho-hum calls.
Mark Anthony.
And now to James.
James with just 7 high. No need to continue. He's going to fold.
And so we'll see a river between Tyler and Anthony, and Tyler will be first to act.
Oh boy. Easy there.
And here comes the river. The river is a 7.
I call. I got 9.
Tyler bets 100,000, and Anthony calls on the river. Not sure why Anthony just flatted there and didn't raise.
We haven't seen Anthony doing a lot of river raising. A couple of times I agree with it. The board texture's scary. On that hand, I agree with you. He probably should have put a little more out there. Probably wouldn't have been called, but still no reason not to bet it.
Call has been made. Option now.
James limps in on this next hand with ace-9 offsuit, and now back to Tyler. And Tyler's all in with king-8, and James calls with ace-9.
Big call by James Williams here. Calls over 800,000 in chips with ace-9. I like it. And he's going to go to the flop ahead, but Tyler with 2 live cards isn't out of this yet. Almost 1.8 million in the pot.
So will Tyler continue his run here at the final table, or are we about to go heads up with James and Anthony? The flop is 5-7-6.
Well, James has flopped a gut shot straight draw. Tyler has an open-ended straight draw. So a 4, a 9, or a king is what Tyler wants to find on the turn or river here.
And the turn is a 5.
4 9.
No help for Tyler. It's going to be a 4, a 9, or a king.
4 9 king.
Or he'll leave us in 3rd place.
Any 9, any 4, any king is what Tyler is looking for. But right now the ace in the lead. Let's go ahead and see the river cards.
And here we go. The river is another 5, and that is going to do it for Tyler Thompson. Started tonight as our chip leader. Survives a couple of eliminations, but leaves us tonight in 3rd place.
Still great. I mean, obviously, I wish I would have finished in 1st, but you know, I'm happy. You know, I had a great time. The field was very competitive, so I definitely feel pretty satisfied with this tournament. With the money I won, I plan on taking a trip to Disneyland with the kids. We're going to do it over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Never done that before, so that'd be a good way to celebrate with the money.
That elimination leaves just 2 players left chasing this HPT championship. Blinds are up to 30 and 60,000 with a 5K ante. Also, Anthony has moved over to seat number 2. James has moved to seat number 5. Why? Well, that's because Fred can see him better when they sit there.
I have bad eyes. I can still see that Yankees hat, though.
Anthony raises to 200,000 with 4-6 of clubs. Action is now on James.
And James has King Jack, and he is going to re-raise it to 600,000. So much for the filling each other out first hand heads up.
I guess the fun and games is all over. We're playing for keeps now. Anthony makes the call. So our first pot here is going to be 1.2 million chips. Whoever wins this will have a big chip lead.
Gary, let's go ahead and see the flop, sir.
And here we go. The flop is deuce 6-8.
Well, Anthony gets the best of this. He flops middle pair. And James has moved all in. Anthony started this hand as the chip leader. It'll cost him almost 1.4 million.
I call.
And he's gonna do it. Big call by Anthony here.
He's got the best hand with the turn and river yet to come.
James flips over king of hearts.
James is hoping to find a king or a jack on the turn of the river. Otherwise, Anthony will be the new HPT champion.
6 is in the lead. Let's go ahead and see the turn card.
And here we go. Here comes the turn. It is a jack! And James has now taken a huge lead as we go to the river.
Anthony hoping to find another 6 or a 4 on the river, or James will take a commanding lead in this heads-up match.
And the river. It is a 3 of diamonds, and just like that, James doubles up, stays alive, and is now your new chip leader at our final table.
A body blow to Anthony Herrera. Let's see if he can make a comeback.
More final table action when we come back next on the HPT.
Greg Raymer did send me a tweet congratulating me and wishing me luck today. And he's a gentleman, and hopefully I get to play with him again soon.
I mean, I've never been more relaxed. I've never been happier, and just going out there to have a good time and see if I can't destroy 5 other people.
Oh, patience. Been there, done that. I think I'm only 26 now, but I played poker a long time. And I ought to shipped it. 21, I ought to shipped it early. get in there, double up, see what happens. But nah, patience paid off. You know, got the aces, right opportunity, and tripled up. Put myself in position to win it.
And Fred, one player is a lot of chips.
And that is James Williams right here from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 93% of the chips in play. If you're just joining us, you missed a big hand. The first hand, heads up. Both players got it all in. Anthony got it in with the best of it, but unfortunately the turn gave James the best hand, and it held up. And now Anthony down to just a little over 300,000 in chips.
And James Williams will be first to act. He's a 26-year-old plumber, local 412 here in Albuquerque. He's got his dad and his mom watching him play here.
And his beautiful girlfriend. And somewhere in the halls is that pretty baby of his, too. James limps in with a wired pair, and Anthony's going to check his option with 9-4.
And here comes the flop. It is Jack, King, Jack.
Well, James has the best hand, all over cards. James is going to go all in.
Anthony will lay it down. So James wins another hand, heads up here.
You know, James, as you mentioned, is a plumber from right here in Albuquerque.
He's into this tournament this week, Fred, for just $190, and now this close to winning almost $57,000.
And Anthony Herrera, who is a truck driver, also has only $500 invested in this tournament. He's guaranteed to go home with at least $34,000 today.
Anthony is all in with Queen 10 offsuit.
600, 100. You're ahead, I call.
Action is on James, and he's going to call. Anthony will be ahead going to the flop, hoping to stay alive and double up.
Almost $500,000 in chips will go to Anthony if his hand can hold on.
And here we go. The flop is 7, Queen, Deuce. Anthony pulls further ahead.
And James is going to hope to find running clubs or running straight cards here.
Don't worry, he's still okay. Didn't hurt him.
Let's go ahead and see the turn card, please.
And now here comes the turn. It is a 9.
Makes it interesting.
Come on,
well, that opens some outs for James. Now a 9 or a 6.
Any 9 or 6 will work there, Gary.
And James will take down this tournament. The river, please. Ooh, it's a 5 of spades, and Anthony's going to sit down and play a little bit longer here at our final table. Doubles up now to 480,000 chips.
Well, he's a double up away from just under $1 million, and then we're right back at it. Queen 9 is Anthony's holding, and he is all in. And look at this. James wakes up with my hand. Mom and Dad, he's going to make the quick call.
Fred Bevel loves King, Queen suited. And if James can stay ahead and end up winning this event, Fred, he might love that hand as well.
Well, Anthony in a bad spot right now. He's only got one live card in his hand. That's the 9.
And here we go. The flop. 6, 4, 8. It's all hearts.
Well, that's a good flop for Anthony. He's picked up a flush draw.
So a 9 or any heart, and Anthony will double up.
Black 9.
James still ahead with King High.
It's coming, bro. It's coming.
And the turn. It is a 6. And so now it's a 9 or a heart for Anthony to double up, or James will be our newest HPT champion and be $56,000 richer.
And the winner will be James. Let's go ahead and see. Put a black card out there. The river card.
To a spade.
Put a black card out there.
To a spade. Black card.
It's an 8 of spades, and that's going to do it. James Williams is your newest HPT champion, leaving with $56,000 in cash.
Anthony had a swingy time at this final table. Started as one of the bottom stacks, grew to one of the big stacks, took a bad beat, and now going out in second place.
I feel good. A little disappointed, but I can't complain. It was a good tournament. Proud of myself. When I woke up this morning, I was short stacked, and I said I'd be happy if I took third or better. Well, I did that, so I'm happy.
Thank you very much, Anthony and Fred. We had said when this final table started, any one of these 6 players could take this thing down, but in the end, it was James Williams who is our newest HPT champion.
I feel amazing. I feel great. It's one of the biggest poker events I played in, and I cashed first place. Happy. This is my family. This is my little guy, John. This is my wife, Nicole. Played just like I wanted it to go. I was short stacked. Obviously, I don't want a bunch of crazy guys going all in, so it was nice to have a good table like that. Hands foul for me and cards held up.
Well, another champion is in the books for Season 8. Only a couple of more events before we get to that year-end HPT Championship Open, and we will see James Williams at that event going for the HPT Championship Open title. Now, do you think you've got what it takes to sit at our final table and win the big cash? Well, then log on to hptpoker.com to find out about our upcoming events. For James Larson and Fred Bevel, I'm Chris Hansen. We'll see you next time right here on the HPT.
Oh, I can wait you out, but I'll take you down. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack on Friday, mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.